the each and every thing about that city, then that's one is an dynamic website, the responsive website, which is the responded to the user as per the user request. That's an dynamic website is comes here. So with the basic skills, those are required for the front end developer as the HTML, CSS, okay, JavaScript. So JavaScript is mainly the most we can say the most famous technology, okay, which is helpful to make your web pages responsive okay, at the client side or as per the server contents, okay, those are going to be delivered to the client side, okay. So while you are supposed to be learn about the website designing, we have to go step by step. Basic, we have to learn how to design the static web pages with the help of HTML. CSS makes your website more attractive by giving the number of designing ideas, okay, means you can define number of colors, then you can give the effective image styles and all, okay. So that's one is about the css itself, it's a style sheet, you can give the style to your website. And JavaScript, it makes your websites responsive, okay. So it's a client side of the part is comes here. So other than this, for the front-end developer, then other number of technologies are available. Here you can see the front-end developer is capable to solve the problem. Okay, so at the side of the client side of the website, we have to able to define the number of problems that can be user friendliness, how your website should be responsive. So that part is needed to be handled by the front-end developer. Second, other than the basic technologies, other are the React, Java, Ajax, Node.js. Even the front-end developer has to know the MySQL. Okay, so this part is comes here in the front-end development. Second is comes that is back-end development. Okay, so आप लोगों ने डेटाबेस सीखा है ना in this semester, right? So when you are saying the back end, most of the car consider that back end is only limited to the database. No, back end is not a only limited database. Back end is the limited to the server with the database here. Database itself are one of the server parties. So backend is totally server side of the technologies. Okay, so backend developers are has to know the number of server side of technologies, that are the PHP, Node.js, Python. Okay, Python is comes in the front end side also, server side also. Then the Java, C hash, and the storage part. Storage is comes towards the our database. So database can be a relational or that can be a non-relational database. Okay, relational database, all of you know what is the structure of the relational database. So there are the number of relational database, those are provided by the number of vendors are available in the market. Non-relational databases, right now the MongoDB is the most famous non-relational database. Firebase is the most famous non-relational database. Okay, so these are the available in a market. Okay. So whenever the client is submitted a request, the request comes to the goes to the server. So at the server side, who will responsible to process that request. So server side, we have to define our logic with the help of these server sides of technologies. Okay, so these technologies are helpful for debugging. Okay, these are technologies are useful for optimizing processing. So the backend developer has to know all this technology along with how to handle the database part. Okay, so database is only the data management. So take a data, process with the help of this technology, and send the response to the client. Okay, so the backend technologies, the developers has to know all these technologies are here. Second part, next part is comes that one. Okay, so along with that technology, the backend developer has to know how to handle the server. Okay, that is monitoring of the server, then the taking of the backup of the server, managing the multiple tasks, then handling the database, then the all the programming technologies that are required for handling the backend outside, and APIs. So APIs are basically those are required for interacting the front end with the backend. Okay, so that is an API part is comes here. Now the next is comes in the role that is a full stack development. Okay, so what is means full stack developer? Back end हो गया, front end हो गया, but what is this is a full stack development. This is a most or you can say इन अ वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट में सबसे हायर सैलरी वाला जॉब है वो है फुल स्टैक डेवलपर का जॉब. So why this job is so much importance? So here you can say in this diagram the full stack development. Under that are defined front end, back end, database, everything is here, right? So it refers that the full stack developer has to know the front end technology, has to know the back end technologies. Also it has to be consisting the actual servers and the hosting of the websites on the web. Okay, means full stack developer has to know everything about the website development and the monitoring and controlling of that. Okay, so it means that the full stack developer requires a wide variety of the skills to its full stack developer has to know all the most of the technologies those are required for the website developments. Okay, so it has to know the coding languages, you can say. So here you can see the list of the languages those are right now used in a market. Okay, so each and everything about the website development has to know to the full stack developer. Okay, so these are the three main jobs. Those are the come concerns with the website development. Okay, so our internet programming, it's a subject is totally about the website designing or the web app designing. So here the another part is this why the full stack development jobs are important. So as I say, the full stack developer has to know the each and everything about the website designing. So the full stack developer is responsible for hosting of the websites, okay, on the servers and need to configure it properly. Just imagine कि आपने एक वेबसाइट डेवलप किया, okay, and that website data is scattered over the number of servers. So as a full stack developer, we are able to manage the all the server, we are able to configure them properly, and we are able to provide the response to the client as per the client request. Okay, so here the it's an managing and configuring of the number of servers are here. And the full stack developer has to know the server side of technology. Why the server side of technology has to know here? As per the user request. Okay, so at the server side that request is supposed to be produced, so how the response should be produced there, how that one is a more interactive to the user. So that is a main part is comes in the server side of technology. So the full stack developer has to know the almost all the server side of technology. And it has to provide the also the database managing and the handling part. So whatever the information or the data is submitted by the client according to the request of the client, the data is has to be extract, need to be processed and send it to the client. So all these things are supposed to be handled by the full stack developers. So that's why full stack developers jobs are the most important jobs in the market now, and these are the higher salary job. Okay, so this one is a basic part. It's about the internet programming. Now let's see about your syllabus. Okay, before going to the syllabus, let's check the scheme of the syllabus first. Okay, so here is a fifth semester syllabus scheme. Okay, so it's an elective subject, right? So for this subject you guys have a 3 hours theory only. Okay, no practicals. So while you're supposed to be choose the subject, be careful for choosing of the subject, because there is no any lab. You guys have to do the lots, you have to take the lots of efforts to learn this subject. Okay, so only the 3 hours theory, and for the term work and viva practical. Okay, so for this you can see here there is no term work. Okay, no viva is here. You guys only have a end semester exam. Okay, so unit test and end semester exam is only for this elective subject. No term work, no practical examination. Okay, now let's go for the syllabus. Okay, so the first is internet programming. Here you can see the internet programming syllabus. Just wait a
बापरे.
minute. Okay, so the syllabus part is here. As you say, the objectives of this syllabus is totally about the basic of internet programming, then the knowledge about the client and server side of programming, then how to develop the responsive web applications, what are the different web extensions are available, web services are there, then learn about the rich internet application designing and react.js. The outcomes are that after learning of this subject, you guys will be able to use the HTML CSS for the designing of the website. And then you will be able to use the JavaScript. You will be able to do the database connectivity with your website. Then you will able to design the rich internet application using the Ajax. Then the various web extensions are there, and the web application you and the react.js. Okay, so by using this technology, whatever that you have in the syllabus, you will be able to use that one to design the website. Okay, so see, the first module is here. It's about the basic part of HTML, CSS. Okay, so the this is an basic website designing technologies, that is the only useful for designing a static website. Okay, HTML and CSS. HTML is the hypertext markup language. Okay, so when you are goes to be learn about the website designing, you have to know what is the www, what is the internet, what is the client, what is the server, how the network is useful for the communication, what are the different networking protocols are comes here for while you are designing a website. Okay, so while you are designing a website, whatever the services you will provide through your website to the client, for that you have to know the number of protocols. Those are helpful for providing that services. For example, email. अगर हम email in your website, if you wants to give the option about the email, that client will post the feedback, email the feedback to you. So what you have to use there, what type of the protocol you have to mention there. Okay, so that part is comes in and basic here. What are the number of internet protocols useful while designing a website. Okay, then the HTML, what are the different tags of the HTMLs are available for designing website. For example, यहाँ पे ये जो web browser open है, for this whatever this is an web page part is here. Okay, our web page is displayed here in this area. The above is the, you can see the here I opened the already website here. For example, suppose ये Amazon का website है, right? So वो जो भी the part is up here, we are defining these are the tab. This is one is the defining and the name which is displayed over the tab. Okay, and this is the where we are defining the address of the website. This is a domain name. Actual website is here displayed on our the web browser. Okay, so this is an actual website. So how you are defining the content, or the what are the logos you are using, what are the images you are using while the mouse cursor is move over this number of content, how they are response. Okay, how they are displaying, it's an part, it just comes in and CSS. Right now I'm going to be define the basic website things. Okay, so it's going to be terms in and CSS while moving and mouse cursor. Okay, the cursor the things are going to be changed here, the color of the text is going to be changed here. So this part is going to be defined with the help of the css. Okay, that is and the style sheet part. html is helpful for specifying how you're defining and content. यहाँ पे full website is divided into the number of frames or the number of blocks. Okay, right now we will get the number of templates over the internet. You can use that template for designing the most attractive websites. Okay, but I suggest you just go step by step. Okay, if you have the knowledge about the website designing previously, then that's a very good thing. If you don't know, then go step by step, take a basic part, learn basic parts first. Okay, so instead of using available number of editors. Okay, आप सभी लोगों को पता है कि number of editors available है. Even you can use the number of studios for designing and website. Okay, so instead of going with that, use the normal notepad for learning of the website designing. Okay, so the full website is divided into the, you can say, in a basic part is number of frames. So how this number of the contents are divided into the number of blocks, so that part is comes in your html. Okay, so html is goes to be totally defined how the content can be organized. Okay, second next module is front end development. So अब हमारा static website define हुआ, the style is given to the website. Now make that website more interactive. Okay, more responsive. So for that, the whatever the basic processing part is comes at the client side, we can define that one with the help of the javascript. Okay, for example, if you want to design a calculator. Okay, so simple calculator hai. There is no need to store the data about the calculator at the backend side. No, we have to know, do the processing of that over there only at the client side of part. Okay, so that time whatever the processing logic is required, we can define in the front end side. Okay, no need to go at the back end. So for that we can use a javascript here. So second module is totally focused over the JavaScript. So in that the whole the basic about the JavaScript, how all the document is supposed to be managed. That is a document object model. This is a most important part in a website designing. If you know the whole the content of your website in the hierarchy of the document object model in the website. Okay, जैसे आपने DBMS में सिखाया था, each and everything is defined as an object. Okay, instance, element or entity. Same way in a website, whatever the number of the tags of the html you are using, the content you are displaying. Okay, how you are displaying that one. So that whole the web page is can be arranged in the tree hierarchy. Okay, so that one is goes to be specified with the document object model is here. Next part is comes the websites. In that you can define the number of functions. Okay, we can specify if you want to make your website dynamic, more dynamic. Okay, and you want to define the number of services. We are going to be define the backend side of that. Then how the content can be interact with the backend or with the server. So that type there is a number of HTTP requests are there. That one we will have to define with the help of the JavaScript at the front end. So your front end can be able to communicate with your backend, right? So now the third model is supposed to be focused over the backend development. So the here in your syllabus for the backend development, servlet is defined. Actually, market में अभी servlet इतना use नहीं होता, but this is an basic concept which is used. Okay, so servlet is servlet and JSP. These are the using the Java programming. Okay, not whole the Java, but आप लोगों को अगर Java programming पता है, so you can easily define the code of the servlet and the JSP is here, and database connectivity here. So as such, these are the Java related part, Java programming, extensions of the Java programmings here. So that's why whatever the connectivity comes here, that is a JDBC connectivity. Okay, so JDBC, it's in the Java applications. Those are going to be connected with the da- databases. Okay, so it's a part at JDBC connectivity here. If you are going to be use the another web development, for example आप लोग अगर ASP.NET यूज करेंगे, अगर VB यूज करेंगे, so instead of JDBC there is comes ODBC database connectivity. Okay, so according to what type of the application is there, what the type of technology you are using, according to that the database connectivity comes there. Then the fourth one is called say the most responsive website designing, that is an rich internet application. So most responsive website designing means what? अगर मेरा एक वेबसाइट है, ओके, एंड एज सच द यूजर इज checking something, so instead of preloading the new page, okay, loading of the new page, because ये तो जनरल टर्म है कि आप कोई भी वेब पेज लोड होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं अगर यहाँ पे क्लिक करती हूँ, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ रिफ्रेशिंग और लोडिंग द फुल वेब पेज इज देयर, so according to the user activity only change that part. Okay, so it's an called as an rich internet application. Okay, full web पेज मुझे रिफ्रेश करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, wherever the I accessing the content, only according to that content the things are supposed to be displayed here. Okay, actually this is not a particular about that, this is a website, but other feature which is where it comes in a rich internet application, I am just explaining that one. Okay, so that part is comes in an ajax. अजाक्स का सबसे मेन फीचर है कि अजाक्स पूरा वेबसाइट रीलोड नहीं करता, पूरा वेब पेज रीलोड नहीं करता, according to the users accessing part, only that particular content whatever the user is want to be access. Okay, according to that only that particular portion is supposed to be refreshed, contents are supposed to be modified, not whole web page is reloaded there. Okay, because web page loading it takes the time. Okay, एक वेब पेज पे ओनली टेक्स्ट नहीं रहता, the web page is consisting the number of type of the contents, so everything is supposed to be load, so the it takes a time, so the your web page should be uh, faster, okay, more responsive. For that there is an ajax technology we can use in your website designing part. So ajax is comes with the jquery. Jqueries are providing this main feature. Okay, along with this feature there are the number of features are comes for responsive websites are there. Now next is comes web extension. Okay, do you think any time that is how the data can be transferred over the internet from the one node to the another node? Okay, so while data is supposed to be transferred, it has to be transferred into particular format, right? So data as it is to transfer नहीं होता, even we will say that 0 and 1, how the 0 and 1 is there comes, no. So when there is a website part is comes, data has to be wrapped into the some format. Okay, so that format can be decoded or encoded at the server side and the client side as also. So web extension is a one of the technology which is used for the data transformation. Okay, there is not needed that key so just consider the server is a high end of the uh, hardware, and we are accessing the data through our mobile, then how the mobile can be compatible with the one server? कैसे होता है डेटा ट्रांसफर आपका? सर्वर पे तो डेटा बहुत सारा रहेगा, उसका सर्वर फॉर्मेट में रहेगा, okay, according to the configuration of that machine, but how that can be come into the your mobile compatible form. Okay, so data we are discussing about the data transformation. Okay, so that time the data is going to be encoded into the one particular format and transfer over the network, and that can be decoded to the other end according to the other end of the platform. Okay, so data transformation, for that basically XML is used in a web application designing. Okay, the XML and the JSON, these are the two parts, those are the data transformation technologies over the web. And the PHP is a totally server side of the technology which is used for the data handling. Okay, and the server side of the processing is here. So PHP and XML, उसमें से XML data transformation है, PHP is the server side of technology. Either you can go with the XML or the JSON for the data transformation technology defining for your website. And the last module is about the React.js. Okay, so in your syllabus only the introduction of the React.js is given, not a full things on the basic application, that is how to display the hello world message. Okay, and what are the other components of the React.js? Only the basic things is mentioned in your syllabus, not other part about the React.js. It's an introduction part only. So this syllabus is having number of technologies to learn. Okay, so for this you can go with the textbooks, or you can use the online number of contents those are available. Okay, for the internal assessment we have you guys will have only the class test of 20 marks. So two class tests are there, and the end semester examination. There is no any practical for this one, but here the suggestions are here. For the fifth semester you have a mini project. So you in a mini project you can design a website or the web application, and in that it suggested that whatever the technologies are defined here in the syllabus you can use that one. Okay, so it's totally about the internet programming. Any question from your side? Anyone wants to ask anything about this subject? Okay, if there is no any question, then let's go for the DBMS. Okay, basically, advanced database management system is an extension of the database management system. Okay, but here in a DBMS, you learn about the SQL, right? The basic data handling programming. But as per this syllabus, the number of things are those are provided here that are totally the no SQL part. It's a non-relational database. Okay, so let's see the advanced database management system syllabus. In this syllabus, okay, you guys have a six model. Okay, the first model is totally explanation of the distributed database. Okay, right now whatever you learned in a DBMS, that is a centralized database management system, and this first model is a distributed database. So how the data can be distributed among the number over the number of server, how the each and every server is communicated with each other for the data update, to keep the data up to date. Okay, to monitor the data, to control the data, and to take a backup of the data. How the number of servers can be a configure, how that can be a controlled by the database administrator. Okay, and how the user is totally unaware about the data distribution. Okay, data distribution, how the transparency is supposed to be managed there. So all that part is comes the distributed database. Okay, how the your one database can be divided into the number of part and allocated to the number of server, and how that one is communicated. If the one query is submitted, how the query can be divided, and how that can be processed, at which node that has to be processed, so the processing time will take minimize. Okay, so that part is comes in a distributed database. So what is the distributed database? What is the distributed database architecture? How the data fragmentation? Data fragmentation means dividing the whole database or the data into the number of parts. Then how the replicas can be managed, how the one data can be a replicate for keep the data up to date in case of the data loss. Then how that data number of parts are allocated to the number of servers. Okay, so that's whole the things in the comes in a distributed database first model. Second model is goes comes about the handling. Okay, so handling means then it's an transaction management. In that it say if the number of tasks are defined by the user, but your data is in a scattered manner, so how that task can be completed here. Okay, so transaction management में आपका आता है what is a distributed transaction, what are the properties of the distributed transaction, what are the different types of architectures are used there for the transaction processing, how the query can be accepted, how that can be divided, how that can be processed at the different server, and how the output can be generated. That is and comes in a distributed query processing. Then the concurrency control. It says that when the number of users are submitted, the number of requests, then how that request can be processed over the distributed data. Okay, so that is an concurrency control is comes, and in a distributed data, okay, where there are the number of servers and over that the data is available, how the that can be a protect from the failure. Okay, if that failure is there, then how that can be a recovered. So that is comes in a recovery in a distributed database. So these two first and second model is totally about the distributed database part. Then the third model is about the XML and JS, that is the data interoperability. As I say, the XML and JS at the data transformation language that's what the data over the network. So first is a total about the XML. What is an XML document? How you can write? What? How you can define the number of rules? Okay, how you can define the query over the XML document. So that part is comes here the XML database. Second is a basic JSON syntax, means the whole about the JSON. So what is an JSON? What are the different data types? How you can write the JSON document? Okay, when the JSON is accepting a request from the client, how the it's supposed to be sent it to the server. Okay, from the server, how the data can be passed in a JSON format to the client. So for that, how you can write the JSON object is there. Okay, so that part is comes in here. Third model. Fourth model is totally about the NoSQL distribution model. Okay, so SQL, all of you know, NoSQL is a not only SQL. Means in that SQL is also, but along with the SQL, other ways are also there for the data processing. So what is means NoSQL? What are the different data models or the databases? NoSQL databases are available. Okay, what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL database system? How the NoSQL is supposed to be managed the asset property. Is there asset property in a NoSQL? If no, then what are the different properties are we have to be considered in a NoSQL is there. So that part is comes in a NoSQL distribution model. Then there are the number of NoSQL databases are available in a market. So one of the database that is a MongoDB. So MongoDB database, all the explanation we will get in the fifth module. Sixth model is then advanced databases. Okay, other than relational database, non-relational databases, that the other databases are as available. The database who are considered the or the work by only considering the time. Okay, timestamp सभी को पता है. So by considering the time, how the data can be handled there. That is an temporal database. So where the whole the processing is supposed to be considered with the help of the time. Graph database where the whole the things is defined in a graph. Okay, basic graphs आप सभी को पता है, जैसे हम बार चार्ट बोलते हैं, पाई चार्ट बोलते हैं. Okay, so that are the one type of the graph. Another is a line graph, all of you know that. So how the data can be represent in terms of the graph, how you can define the query over the graph, how the output can be come or extracted from the graph. So that one is the graph database. The most famous graph database is a Neo4j. So the case study of Neo4j is a given here. Then the spatial database. Okay, so spatial database is then another part a type of database where you are considering the geolocations. Okay, so that's one is also called a GIS database. Latitude, longitude. By considering that one, you can be defining your database part is here. So what are the data types? How the operators are there? How can define the queries over that database? So these are the introduction it's given in the six modules. Okay, for the advanced database. So for the advanced database, you can go with the book. That one is the second one, textbook, Elsma and Navati, Fundamental of Database System. This one is covered almost all the database concepts. And for the distributed database, you can use a third textbook, that is a Tamil. In that, you will get the each and every concepts of the distributed database system. Okay, so these two textbooks are useful for advanced database, and this one is also have only the unit test and the end semester examination. No practicals, no term work, no viva. Okay, and the 3 hours theory lectures only. So this is an advanced database management system subjects. So you can see, uh, and one more thing is here. You will have a say seventh semester, the one subject that is a big data analysis. Okay, so in a big data analytics, you will have the NoSQL and some NoSQL database is there, and data processing part is there. So need to know SQL wala part hai, fifth and fourth model you will have there in a big data analytics. Or the distributed system is not XML and JSON you have in a internet programming also. So while you're submitting the subject choice, check the syllabus properly and according to that give the subject choice. If you want to learn the full website designing, okay, you can't depend on your teachers because I already taught these subjects. Yeah, we have to learn the MongoDB in the DBMS. Okay, as a subject teacher, I'm saying that if you are want to learn the website designing, go with the internet programming syllabus. But in a both the syllabus, there is a one problem. Teacher can't teach you the full thing. Okay, some of the things, but not all the things hands on, because for this subject there is no any practical session. Okay, only 3 hours theory is there, and the syllabus contents you can see the both the syllabus is a vast syllabus. The contents are lots of contents are given in this. So most of the time teacher will tell you the concepts and you guys have to do the hard work for learn these technologies. You have to come with your own idea. Teachers are there to help you, to explain you the concepts are there, how to use, where to use. Okay, but whatever the remaining part, the coding part, okay, so that you guys have to do. Okay, कोडिंग इसमें पूरा कोडिंग पार्ट है टेक्नोलॉजीज में. सो कोडिंग nobody can teach you. Coding is a such a part where you have to लर्न योर सेल्फ. मीन्स अगर जितना कोडिंग आप करोगे उतना वो प्रोग्रामिंग कॉन्सेप्ट आपको समझ में आएगा. सो दिस पार्ट कान टीच यू इन अ सेशंस ओनली. मीन्स आपका थेरी सेशन है, दैट्स वन इज नॉट इनफ टू टीच ईच एंड एवरीथिंग हैंड्स ऑन टू यू. हाँ, सम के लिए वर्कशॉप अरेंज किए जा सकते हैं, दैट वन कैन whoever that the person that can help you to explain you most useful concepts, how to use that one, where to use that one. But the remaining part you guys have to do. So one more thing in your chat box, okay, the attendance link is posted. Please submit your attendance over there. Any question? Yes. Yes. Any question? Okay. If you don't have a question, then just submit your attendance. Attendance form link is available in the chat box.